Hello learners, welcome back to the Design and Analysis of Algorithms lecture series. Kirti Sharma, working as an assistant professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. Today in this lecture series, we will discuss the algorithm design techniques. There are various algorithm design techniques that we will discuss one by one, among which one of the design technique that we will cover in this lecture is divide and conquer approach. So basic introductory part we will cover only here. Then next is recurrence relation that we have. Then substitution method. Under the recurrence relation we have different methods to understand, like substitution method, iteration method, recursion tree method, and master theorem method. So it's a master theorem method. Okay, so we will discuss these things one by one. Let's start with the algorithm design techniques. So divide and conquer approach is a top down approach basically, and the algorithms which follow the divide and conquer techniques are involve the three steps. First step, divide the complex or large problem into the set of subproblems or submodules. Solve each and every subproblem individually but recursively. That means simultaneously you have to execute the subproblems. Then after at last step, you have to combine the solution of all the subproblems into the final solution as a solution for the original problem. So three steps involved. First, divide the large problem into the subproblems, then solve those subproblems individually and parallelly also, and last, combine all the solution of the subproblems into a solution of a whole original problem. Next is greedy approach, greedy technique. Uh, we will discuss these techniques later because your complete syllabus is based upon these techniques itself. So next is greedy technique. Greedy method is used to solve the optimization problems actually. So an optimization problem is one in which we are given a set of input values which required either to be maximized or minimized. So known as objective. Our objective should be clear in order to maximize the resultant or minimize the resultant. So some constant conditions are will be there to perform the greedy method. So greedy algorithm always makes the choice actually, greedy criteria, like looks best at the moment to optimize a given objective. So we have to focus on the objective and in order to get the maximum from that particular greedy criteria. Okay, so greedy algorithm doesn't always guarantee like it will give the optimal solution always. However, it generally produces a solution that is very close to the in a value to the optimal, but we can't sure cannot give the guarantee for it. Okay, so it was all about greedy technique. Next is dynamic programming. Dynamic programming is bottom up approach. So as previously we have seen, like divide and conquer, top down, and this dynamic approach, bottom up approach is there, in which we solve all the small problems and then combine them to obtain the solution of the bigger solution. Same thing as like the divide and conquer, but here we are moving from bottom to top down direction, up direction. So when the number of copying sub problem is exponential large, then then dynamic programming is frequently related to the optimization problem in that case only, right? So next is branch and bound technique. So in branch and bound algorithm, a given sub problems are there which cannot be bounded, like divided into at least two new restricted sub problems. First, branch and bound algorithm are the methods for global optimization in case of non-convex problem. And next is, this algorithm can be slow, like in case of the worst cases they require efforts that grows exponentially with the problem size. If size of the problem is very large, then it may possible the worst case could be there, and your algorithm could be slow. So in some case we are lucky, like if the method coverage which with the much less efforts will be there in branch and bound case. So these are some techniques, and last two techniques that we have to discuss are randomized algorithm and backtracking algorithm. Randomized algorithm is defined as an algorithm that allowed to access a source of independent and unbiased random bits. That means it basically allows to use these random bits to influence its computation. So with the help of randomized algorithm, you can take the random numbers at least once during the computation makes a decision. So to make the decision, here we are taking the random numbers. So during the discussion of the sorting algorithms, quick sort and all, we will also discuss the randomized algorithm. Next is backtracking algorithm. It tries each possibility until they find the right one. It is a depth first search actually. So during the search, if an alternative doesn't work, then backtrack the choice point. That is the main objective of this algorithm. So one by one we will discuss these design techniques throughout your subject. So your complete syllabus consists of these designing techniques and solution to the problems. So next is recurrence relation. Recurrence relation is the important one topic. Why we have to study this topic actually? In order to continue with the divide and conquer techniques, as we have already seen, like first design technique is a divide and conquer technique. If you have a problem, how to design it? We have already seen by these six approaches you can design the problem. Now I'm taking the first one, like divide and conquer technique. So after the designing of the problem, we want the solution for that problem. In order to get the solution, we need the any kind of recurrence relation. So that's why it's a need to study or to discuss the recurrence, about the recurrence relation. With the help of recurrence relation, we can find out the time complexity, how much time taken by the taken by the algorithm in proceeding, so how it is going on. So in order to get the recurrence relation of any algorithm, we have a short study here. So first, what do you mean by recurrence relation? It's an equation, or you can say inequality, which describes a function in terms of its values on smaller inputs. So to solve the recurrence relation means to obtain a function, define the natural numbers that satisfy the recurrence. So it's an example only, you can take anything. So here we have just shown this example, like merge sort example it is. So what is the recurrence relation for the merge sort? This is given is here. So no need to just say, worry about this what it is. We will study these things, how to write the recurrence relation with respect to any algorithm. So these are some methods to solve the recurrence relation itself. So it's important to solve the recurrence relation. So recurrence relation, we can solve the recurrence relation by using these methods that we will discuss one by one. So first one is substitution method, that we can solve by the guessing the solutions or mathematical induction problems. So let's start with with some problem, and then we will discuss these things one by one. Let's suppose that, like, we have divide and conquer problem. Problem input, then what is the size of that input size is a p. Then it's a very large problem, that's why we have divided it into the p1, p2, p3 and pk. So we have solved those sub problems individually, and at last we have combined these results here, right? So this was the basics for the divide and conquer technique. So in the divide and conquer technique, we have some algorithm like this. So here this is the algorithm that you can write in your own words. DAC, divide and conquer. So problem is there. If problem is small, then no need to divide it again and again. Just find the solution for that problem. If divide and else, if it is not small problem, then divide that problem into the subparts p1, p2, pk. Then after that, apply the DAC and like on the sub problem. Again and again, you have to apply the divide and conquer algorithm on the sub problems like p1, p2 and p3, so on. After that, like in last, you have to combine all the solution that you will get over these sub modules. So problems depending upon the divide and conquer that we will study later, like these are the problems that we will discuss under the divide and conquer technique. Binary search to find the maximum and minimum of a minimum from the list of numbers, merge sort, quick sort, Starshin matrix multiplication. These all are comes under your syllabus only. So these problems we can solve with the help of divide and conquer technique that we will discuss in the upcoming lectures. So recurrence relation, to understand the recurrence relation, we have an example over here. We will take an algorithm and we will solve that particular algorithm in order to find the recurrence relation, and then we solve the recurrence relation by using the different methods like substitution method, recurrence tree method, mastery theorem. So one by one we will discuss all these things. So this is the algorithm that is shown here. In this algorithm, we have a test function, or you can say this is a function that we are trying to execute in order to find out the recurrence relation. So here, test is a function which has a int n as a variable, and n should be, if n is greater than 0, then it will print the value of n, otherwise it will do the decrement in n as a n minus 1. It will repeat until the like up to when n becomes 0. When n becomes 0, then it will come out of the function. So let's take an example to get the better clarity about it. So let's let test and take the n value as 3. So here, if you are taking the n value as 3, so what it's mean, like first it will print the n value as 3 as per the given algorithm. See here, it may be you are comfortable with the screen, so it is visible now. N value is 3, then what it should be, n value, it will check, is 3 greater than 0? Yes, 0 is it is greater than. This is a recurrence tree method to find out this, to represent this function in the recurrence tree method. So I'm trying to solve this problem or algorithm with the help of recurrence tree. So test 3 is here. Yes, n is greater than 0, then it will come here, it will print the n value. What is the n value? 3, it will print here. The next, what it will do, it will do n minus 1 here. That means n minus 1 is 2 here. Again it will go back to the function. Yes, because we have called that function test here. N minus 1 will be there, that means test n will be there. So test 2 is there. Again it will check, it will print the value of n as 2 and n minus 1 as 1. So same 1 and test 0. At the value 0, it will come out of the box. Like when n value becomes 0, then it will come out of the function. It will not revolve around that condition. So how many times here, like this particular algorithm or takes to for execution test 3, it executes 1 unit of time taken, right? Here it is also taking the 1 unit of time in printing the things. Here only single constant time is taken by the at the execution time by the compiler. So what it's mean, like how many times you are calling the function 1 2 3 4. That means if you are taking the value as 3, so 3 plus 1 time functions are calling you. If you are passing the value as n, so how many times function call will be there? N plus 1. So if I'm taking n value 3, then it is 3 plus 1, 4 times the function calling is takes place here. Okay, so it was a generalized form. Now what is the generalized form here? N plus 1. So if you are representing the fn as a function call as a n plus 1 times you are calling a function, so what will be the time complexity, how much time taken by this algorithm? That is order of 1, because 1 will be considered as a constant term and you can neglect it at all. So either you can write it as a theta or order big O, it doesn't matter a lot, right? So here order of n you got here as a time taken by the function. So same thing, now we are writing here the recurrence relation with respect to the same algorithm or function. Here Tn is the name of the like I'm taking the test n is as a Tn. Tn is as the name of the function. Then after, what we are doing here, overall, yes, here from here you can conclude, like here test 3 is there, then n minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 1, again and again it is repeating. Then what it's mean, I'm just taking here Tn minus 1 plus 1. 1 is the constant time that we are taking at last, like to printing the values. So after calculating this thing, we can combinedly write these things Tn minus 1 plus 1 up to what time? N should be greater than 0. If n is equals to 0, we cannot write here 0, because mathematically, like you don't have to put here 0, because 0 means you don't have anything, but here we have something to print, like so by default we will take it as like 1 here. Okay, for in case of 0, if you are getting the value 0, because constant will be there, not, and you can write here any constant, c, x, y, z, anything. So constant will be there, you will not write over here 0. Okay, now you have to solve this recurrence relation with the help of different methods. First we are taking here substitution method. So in the substitution method, I'm just taking the first value, tn equals to tn minus 1 plus 1 over here, right? So here, if we have to calculate and we have to substitute the value of this tn minus 1, what it will be? Tn minus will be like, if we are taking tn, then we are taking here n minus 1 and plus 1. Here if we are finding the tn minus 1, we will take here one less value than tn minus 1. One less value will be tn minus 2. Now plus 1. Now this is the complete value for the tn minus 1. You have to put this complete value here at the place of tn minus 1. Okay, so now we are just replacing these values here. If it is not clear, I'm just giving you the clarity over here. This is tn minus 2 plus 1, right? Plus 1 over here. This is the t of n here, right? So next, what about t of n here? Like if you are taking and replacing the substituting the value of tn minus 2, it will be tn minus 3 plus 1 plus, we have written here 2. Why is it so? This 1 plus 1 become 2, and this value of this tn minus 1 2 is this one, tn minus 3 plus 1 is there. You can rewrite it as like this, t n minus 3 plus 3, because 2 plus 1 become 3 here. Next, if you are taking t n minus 4 plus 1 and plus 3, he will be here, it will become tn minus 4 plus 4. So up to so on. If you will continue with at the up to the k times, what it will be like, at the place of value here, you can see if we are writing here 3, then at last we are getting the 3 as a resultant. Here if you are writing 4, 4. If you will run for the k times, you will get here the k now. So you can rewrite it as like this, tn minus k then plus k. So it will be the generalized form. Let's assume when it will be over, when k n value becomes equals to 0, then it will be over, right? So here I'm taking the value of, like, let's assume n minus k is equals to 0, because at this value our functionality will stop according to the condition. So here, from here we can write n equals to k. Why we have taken n minus k equals to 0? Because we get here t n minus k. So at the place of t0 only, we have the terminating condition as a 1. That's why we just assumed that n minus k is equals to 0 and n equals to k here. Now put the value of n at the place of this particular kth term. At the place of k, we have replaced with the n. Now it will cut it out, then t of 0 is there, n is there. It will come n plus 1. Now same thing, ignore this one, this will become theta of n. N plus 1 function calls are there. So if we were solving this particular problem with the help of recursion tree, the execution time taken by the algorithm was, of course, this n plus 1 function call was there, and theta of n, or you can say order of n, time complexity were there. So same thing also coming here. You can apply any of the method in order to get the solution of the recurrence relation. Answer will remain same throughout the session. So next is there, next example that you can take here. This one. This is the algorithm or function, you can say, test n int n. Here we have taken the for loop. So how many times, like we are considering it as a t of n. This if condition will run one time only. Like when will you come here, like it will execute one time, constant time it will run. For loop, how many time it will execute? Of course n plus 1 time, because for n time it will come inside the loop to print the value, and last time whenever it will get false, it will again check the condition. So for loop will execute n plus 1 time, but the value, whatever the statement whatever is inside the for loop will execute n times. Okay, so after that we have done here test n minus 1 here. So what it's mean, now we have to calculate the total time taken. So we have to calculate the value of t of n by combining all these values. So t of n is equals to tn minus n plus n plus 1 plus n plus 1. So now if we will do the sum, n plus n become 2n, 1 plus 1 become 2. So it is the generalized form. Now we have to solve it in order to get the recurrence relation. So here it will become Tn will become Tn minus 1 plus n. I'm taking here the generalized form because here we are getting 2n plus 2 as we have seen Tn minus 1, Tn plus 2. So constant values ignore. So by ignoring the constant value, I'm taking the generalized thing. Like by ignoring this 2 also, 2 taking the common and it will become n plus 1. So ignore these things, take the n here. So Tn plus 1, Tn minus 1 plus n. Now write the recurrence relation with respect to T of n here. So 1 when n equals to 0 and when n is a greater than 0, then what it will be Tn minus 1 plus 1 that we have seen already. So now this is a recurrence relation. You have to solve it one by one by using the recursion tree and as well as substitution method. So first we are solving this particular problem with the help of recursion tree. So Tn is a function here. Then first it will print n value if n is a greater than 0. Then it will print the n value if n is greater than 0. Then it will decrement the n value by 1. So same n minus 1 as it is print, then decrement in the value of the function. So on. So how many time it will go, like it is decreasing one by one, and n minus 2, n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 up to like n minus n. That means here t value will become 2, 1, 0. If we are raised here n minus n times, so it will become 0 now. So that's why we have just do the decrement up to 0. Whenever it will become 0, it will terminate over here, right? So it was the basic of the recursion tree. So how many time it will execute, time taken n time for Tn, n minus 1 for Tn minus 1. So whatever is the value of the time function here, like n minus 1, n minus 2, that much time taken by the functionality. So now do the sum of all these steps here in order to get the final total time taken. So total time taken is 0 plus 1 plus 2 up to n. We know how to solve this series. That will become n into n plus 1 divided by 2. And if you will multiply over here, it will come n square plus n divided by 2. So what is the upper bound here? We have already discussed like upper bound. N square will give the larger value compared to the n. So if you are getting n square plus n divided by 2, ignore directly this constant value. In n square plus n, the upper bound value is, which will give the greatest like best solution, n square. So always take the upper bound here. So I've taken here order of n square as a time taken. So I hope it is clear to all. The same thing now we have to solve it with the help of substitution method. So what about the substitution method? This was a recurrence relation that we know already. So take it as a first equation and replace the value here t of n minus 1. Then again replace the value of tn minus 2. One by one it will do the decrement up to kth time. So here if you will decrement this value, what you will get here t n minus 2. And what is here? If you are taking here n minus 1, here n greater 1 values. If we are taking n minus 2, here it will be n minus 1 and this plus n is previous one, right? So this complete value is replaced at the place of tn minus 1 only. Next we have written this thing here. You do not need to write here 2n minus 1. You have to keep it separately itself, right? So now replace this 2n minus 2 n minus 2 with the tn minus 3 plus n minus, here it is minus n minus 2. Okay, I'm just correcting it. It's n minus 2. So n minus 1 is there. So this one we have taken outside this. Now we have combinedly written it. No need to add these n's here. You have to write them separately only. Otherwise it will become difficult to solve it out at last. Okay. So up to kth time, if you will write the same thing, what it will be t of n. You are replacing the values here up to k times. So 1, 2, 3, 4 up to k. So what you are getting over here, if you are taking here k, then what it is over here, k minus 1. Then what it is, k minus 2, k minus 3 and so on. So I'm just writing it in the generalized form, n minus k minus 1, n minus k minus 2 up to what, n minus 1 and nth time is there. So I'm just doing the decrement over here and writing it into the generalized form. Same thing we have to assume here, n minus k equals to 0, because we know very well like at the value of 0 it will stop. So n will become k equals to the k here. The next thing that we have to focus over here, is replace the value of k with the n. So wherever k is written, we have written the value of the k as a n, and all n's are will be the cancelled out. What you will get here, it will be 0, here it will be 1, because minus minus will become plus. Then again here we will get 2 up to n. So you know this thing, how to solve this thing. So nth series sum is n into n plus 1 divided by 2, and t of 0 value we know very well, it's 1. So what you are getting here, n square plus n, same thing you are getting, and 1 is the constant, you can directly ignore. This is also constant, you can directly ignore. Here the execution time is theta of n square. Here you can also write the big of n square, it's up to you. So it was all about the solution, like how to solve the recurrence relation. So in the same manner, we have the log n form function here, in which we have the algorithm, in which we have the condition like I should be less than equals to n, and it is incrementing by 2 over here. So what it's mean, you are incrementing the value of I by 2. That means if you're increasing it by 2, it will go at the log n times. We have discussed in the previous lecture itself. So it will take the log n, how much time it will print, like printf I log n, because this 2 times multiplication of I here. So int n is there, so t of n as a complete function, what will be the time taken here? This is tn minus 1, and this one is log n. So tn minus 1 plus log n is the time taken, right? So next what we have here, we have to solve this, write the recurrence relation, then solve the recurrence relation with the help of recursion tree and substitution method. Here this is the recurrence relation. I hope it is very clear to all. Now how to write the recursion tree? Take this one, tn is replaced by, like you printed the log n value and tn minus 1, again log n minus 1, tn minus 2. You have to do this same thing up to what time? Up to k time. So I'm just taking it like up to n time, n times here, n minus 3, n minus 4, up to n minus n, it will become 0. When you will get 0, it will terminate the program. So how much time taken it by it? Log n, like it, for this particular, for this level you need log n time, then log n minus 1, log n minus 2, up to log 2, log 1 time. So we have just added all these things, and you know very well the logarithmic formula, log a plus log b, you can write it as like log ab, right? So we have written this thing as this, log a plus log b and so on, whatever is there, you have taken the log over here, and we have written like n into n plus 1, a b c d, whatever is there, we have combinedly written here. If you are getting here same thing like on the 3 values, log c also there, then you will write log abc. So same, any number of logs can be possible, you can write it as like this. So what it is, you are getting here 1 2 3 up to n. So you are decreasing the value by 1, like if you have the n factorial, it is in the form of n factorial, you can write the n factorial as n into n minus 1, n minus 2 up to 1 now. So I'm just replacing the value of this into the factorial form. So it will become n factorial, log n factorial. In the incremental series of the functions, these functions, we have already seen like n factorial is a greater or having the upper bound. So tightest upper bound of the n factorial, we have the n raised to power n over here. We have already discussed in the sequence of the functions. So here if you will write the n raised to power n in front of log, it will become n log n. So always take the upper bound, as we have seen already, like if it was coming like n square plus n divided by 2, as you have seen that n into n plus 1 divided by 2. So in that case we have not taken the n, we have taken the upper bound, tightest upper bound, that was n square. That's why we have written order of n square. Same here for the n factorial, the tightest upper bound we will take as the n raised to power n. What is the possibility? That you will find out with the help of the sequence, function sequence. So now we can replace it with the help of log n raised to power n, it will become log n. So it's an important one. So if you are getting this, it's very good. If you are not getting this, just rewind the video and to get the better clarity over here. Okay, so definitely you will get the clarity by seeing it repeatedly. So next is same thing we have with to solve with the help of substitution method. Same thing, you have to replace the values of n minus 1 log n. So again we are replacing this to t n minus 1 with the t n minus 2, and log n minus 1. If I'm taking here n minus 1, here n is coming. So same here, if you're taking n minus 2, n minus 1 is coming here. So this log n will remain as it is over here. We are replacing the tn minus 1 with this value only. Okay, same thing, we are just rewriting it by opening the braces over here. Now this is the outer part, you are replacing tn minus 2 with this line, and we have written this thing as it is over here. Same thing, if you have written kth time, then what it will be over here? So if you will return the same thing as a kth time, it will come here t n minus k log 1, log 2, log 3 up to log n. So you're decrementing the value, na? So n minus 1, n minus 2 up to n times. So n minus n becomes 0. So log 1 times it will execute. And when it will terminate, of course, this value will become 0, then it will terminate. So we have assumed that this n minus k is equals to 0. So if you have to put the value of k as n, so we are putting over here the value of k as n. So n minus n, and when n to n cross out will be there, log 1, log 2 up to log n is there. So you can write the t0 value as 1, and this will become what? Of course you have to take the log as a common, as we have previously seen. Then next is n minus 1, then up to 2 into 1. So you can write it, if you have the multiplication in between them, so you can write it as log n factorial. N factorial, take the upper bound, as we have seen already, it will become here order of n log n. So it was all about the how to find the recurrence relation. Then after how to find the recurrence relation, then after we have to take in the solution, how to solve those recurrence relation with the help of different methods. We have seen the solution with respect to the solution for the recurrence relation with respect to the substitution method and recurrence tree method. So here I'm providing to the summary up to what extent we have solved the problems. So what is the problem here? So we have seen that if you are taking tn as a tn minus 1 plus n, so what was the time taken here? Order of n we are getting here, right? So here if I'm taking here n minus 1 n, we already have solved these things, right? So we are taking here whatever is the value of fn here, this value we are just multiplying it by n. 1 was there, multiply by it n. This is a shortcut. You can apply this shortcut only into the competitive exam. In the university exam, you have to given the complete solution, as I've shown to you how to solve in the final exams. So in the competitive exams, you can directly write the time complexity for the recurrence relation by seeing the recurrence relation itself. No need to solve it out, and it's very time taking if you will solve each and every step. So you have to just multiply the this fn function with the by n. So here it is 1, multiply it by n, it will come order of n. Here it is n, it will become n square, multiply n by n, n square. This is log n, it will come n log n. This is n square, it will come n cube. So multiply these things by n only, you will get the time complexity. Now it is was when you are taking here n minus 1 case, right? If I'm taking here n minus 2, then what it will be? Like this was decrementing it by 1, here you are decrementing it by 2. That means it will become half the rotation, repetition, substitution, it will become half comparative to this. So it will come here n by 2 here, right? So remove this constant, it will never affect, it will also come order of n here. So if you were take any number here, it doesn't matter actually. Matter is this, in order to finding out the time complexity. So direct formula, direct you can say method, you have to multiply the n by here. So here it will come for n, if you will take order of n, here it will come n square if you will multiply this n by n. So it's a shortcut only. So logic, if you want directly the final output. So it was all about the recurrence relation. In case of decrement recurrence relation, how to solve the recurrence relation in order to find the time taken by it by the algorithm. So in next lecture we will discuss the more about the recurrence relation. So stay tuned. Thank you. Have a nice day.